guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi if you're new here. Please subscribe down below because I am uploading a lot more content and it'll be fun stuff. And to anyone that has watched or subscribed recently, I really appreciate it. It's been really fun for me to get out of my comfort zone and do this, and I really appreciate everyone who has supported me, so thank you. Today's video topic is going to be along the lines of traditional university versus an online education. I'm going to be giving my example mainly through my experience, as I did get my bachelor's at a traditional four-year university, like most people's college experience, whereas my grad experience has been a little different. I started at a traditional university for my master's program, and I am now currently in an online program through a four-year university for my master's, which is something I didn't expect, and I think it might be relevant to anyone who is in a similar circumstance to me, or anyone who's thinking about master's program, or anyone just like uncertain with how online school is and how the semester, and if you take summer classes, may progress with what's going on right now. And I hope I can bring some good insight to somebody who is a little uncertain. My experience with traditional universities is getting my bachelor's degree at traditional university, and I did do one full semester at a traditional university for my graduate schooling, which now I am in online for my master's program. It's still a 2-year program. It is like through a four-year university that is actually close to the city I'm located in. I think that's an option a lot of people don't consider, is that most online programs or online universities are marketed and advertised are just strictly online universities. And I think people, as did I, not know that these four-year universities that are traditional, usual, like normal universities do have online programs as well, and you're still getting that degree from an accredited university. I did enjoy my semester that was at a traditional university for grad school, because it also was the same school that I got my bachelor's degree from. That being, I knew the professors that I was going to be learning from, and I had that really good relationship already. And it did, and I really enjoyed all of the professors in the undergrad program that taught in the graduate program. I had the same mentor for my undergrad studies that was then my thesis chair, and I do love her, but I am very happy with my decision. I'm gonna discuss why I made that decision and how it's impacted me. I started my graduate degree, as mentioned, at a normal institution, and I enjoyed it. It definitely was like the hardest academic semester I've ever had. Grad school really is much more advanced and much more like driven. You have to be really driven, and that was nice to have that experience. In one of my classes, we read a novel every week, and that is very difficult for me because I don't read quickly and I don't enjoy reading things that are dry sometimes, and so that one was tough, but very enlightening, I guess. So I went to undergrad for psychology with a specification in forensic because I really love psychology and mental health and all of that, but I really enjoy it specifically in the forensic setting and a criminal setting. So having that opportunity in undergrad and then being able to have that opportunity in graduate school, I thought would be phenomenal for the career path I eventually want to take. Not that I have a very great idea of what that is at the moment, but I know that's what I want to do. I thought that would be very beneficial to my end career goal. So I decided to apply. I took GRE. It was the hardest test I've ever taken. I didn't study, but way harder than the ACT, way harder than the SAT. I have never come out of a 4-hour test feeling more like an idiot in my entire life. Very, very humbling. I can only imagine how others have felt as well, but extremely humbling. So I took that, I got my letters of recommendation, I wrote the essay, paid the $50 application fee, and I got in, also because I graduated from there, so I was an alumni. I did get an alumni discount on my tuition, which also helped, but in the long run, switching to the other university, I'll explain how a discount didn't necessarily make as big of an impact in making that switch. But the program I went into was a clinical psychology program that had the forensic like pathway or specialization like courses in that, so that you would be able to have that on your resume that you graduated with your clinical psych degree with like the forensics in it, which is, like I said, my end goal. This program did include being licensed when you come out, but that was the 3-year program and it was 60 credits. So on top of being licensed, you have a practicum and then an internship. And as exciting as that is, I also have to work full-time. I currently do work full-time because we bond on a budget. We're trying to be a grown-up, but I don't know how that's going, especially right now. But I was worried about how that was going to impact my financial situation long-term, because although I do live with my parents and I love them and we're having a phenomenal relationship, I do want to grow up and move out eventually, as I'm sure they do. They love me, but you know, who wants a 25-year-old, I just turned 24, but who wants a 25, 26, 27-year-old just chilling at their house? Not me. So that was my biggest concern with that. But I was like, oh, I have 2 years to figure that out. Oh, I also forgot to mention that this program, they only take in students in the fall, so that you go through the 3-year program with the same cohort. So I graduated in December 2018 and I had to wait until August 2019 to be into this program. And having that time off of school was nice, but also it's like a nice little glimpse at not having to do anything academic. I'm happy I did that because I needed it, but also like it is a reason why I finished my degree later than expected. And if I want to get my PhD, like, you know, that all plays a big role. So that was maybe a big impact. I haven't figured it out yet. I probably won't know for a few years, but it was nice in the end, even if it does prolong my graduation. So I went in to this program, got accepted. It was great, you know, very challenging. I knew all 3 professors. I got a thesis chair that I wanted, who was my mentor. It was great. It was very hard because I did work full time, and these classes were 3 times a week, 1 day for each class from 6 to 9 p.m. And I work retail, but you have to have a very open availability schedule. But I would be working days where I would have an opening shift from like 6 to 3, and then my class is 6 to 9, so I would just go to school to study. Did I do that? I don't know, most likely not. But, you know, I would get off work at 3, it would take me 45 minutes to drive to school, I would eat, study, and then I would have class, and then I would have to go home, which would take like 45 minutes again if I wasn't hitting rush hours in these times, because I live in South Florida, and rush hour is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But then I would still have to eat. Like, I'd get home, it'd be like 10, I'd eat, it's like 10:30, 11, but I have to get up for my work shift that's either at like 6, 7, or 8 the next morning. And that really took an impact on me because I wasn't sleeping as much. I wasn't like seeing my like friends as much. I definitely saw like a decline in how happy I was, or like how much like I was enjoying things. I wasn't going to the gym because I was too tired. Like, a lot of things like got put on the back burner because obviously like your education and my job were like the 2 most important things. It's like, oh, I work out later, like I can do insert blank later. And so that was something like I didn't realize how big of a toll it was taking on me until I sat down with my dad and kind of explained it, and he's like, well, maybe you should just look for other programs, like maybe this isn't the right program for you. So we sat down and Googled other schools near me that I wanted to go for like undergrad that we thought might be good options for me to be into a different grad program, and I found the online program that I'm in now. It made me really question if I wanted to do the full 60 credits 3-year-long program, because not only is that, you know, 3 classes a semester, it's also 1 to 2 classes each summer semester, which is 2 summer semesters at my school. And so I'd be going to school full-time with very little break for 3 straight years, a practicum, an internship, a thesis, and I didn't know if I really wanted to be licensed because my end goal isn't to be a therapist for like the general pop. That was something I really had to think about, and so I kind of made a rash decision. Like, I was rushed, and I'm thankful I didn't have time to think about it because I might have wavered on it, because while I do embrace and like change, change is also very frightening. And I've been at the school at this point now for like 4 years. I've like known them for a long time, and it made me a little nervous, but I applied to the online program and sat down with my dean and kind of discussed it, because I also was concerned that there was not the forensic side of it that they had said there was, because when that started there was 3 forensic professors and now there was 1, and I just wasn't sure how that was going to impact that, because that was my main objective, main focus for this whole program that I chose. And you know, he's very honest. I appreciate that. He told me that it wasn't a thing, and that in that moment it like solidified my decision that I was going to withdraw at the end of the semester and go into the online program that is a true like forensic psych master's program. And so I did. It was different, like that transition, but I also felt like a really big like weight lifted off my shoulders. And now, after I have 2 weeks left in this semester, almost finishing it, really enjoyed it. It's been very interesting, and it is also year-round. It's like a trimester style, where it's 2 and 2 classes instead of 3 and 3 with all that summer stuff. But so I'll still have summer classes, but it's 2, and not as much work, I would say. Like up front, you do have to be self-motivated, and you do have to look through all of the lectures and the books on your own. You know, every few weeks we do have a GoToMeeting class where we all, you know, hop on that for an hour and we get to ask any questions we have. They go over the like what has happened, what we should be doing, what's up next, like test reviews, stuff like that. So it's very normal in that aspect. Like the concept is the same. You're just taking the brick and mortar face-to-face with the professor out of the situation, which can be frightening for some people, because that's all we've ever grown up with. When you're in like kindergarten, or if you went to like daycare and stuff before that, you know, from the time you're 5 to like I was 22 or 23, you know, you're used to that. And so that's frightening, but it's been great. The price, as I mentioned earlier, the program I'm in now is cheaper versus the program I was in, even with my alumni discount. So that is nice also, because I am paying for this. We gotta consider price too in the long run, because student debt loan is serious. It's probably serious. Okay guys, I was editing the video and it is really long. It's like 23 minutes long, so I'm gonna split it into 2 parts. The first part is this part, and the next part that will be uploaded on Friday is going to be like my tips and my advice and the pros and cons I view of each traditional and online university. So stay tuned for that part of it. Also, PS, ignore that I just said student debt loan instead of student loan debt. I graduated. I'm just gonna close out the video. I really appreciate you guys giving this a watch. Make sure to leave any comments, questions, tips, or your story down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Don't forget to subscribe down below and give this video a thumbs up, because it really supports my channel. And I'll see you guys on Friday.